if you are overcoming addiction, the first step is identifying triggers. Now you can go minimize the amount of substance that you're consuming every single time you go and get drunk, or every single time you go and smoke. For example, let's say you're smoking 7 cigarettes a day. You can reduce it to 4 cigarettes a day. You can go reduce it to 2 cigarettes a day, and you can just slowly reduce it. You can reduce the amount of alcohol that you're consuming, but it is very important to identify why, like, you get the urge to smoke, why you get the urge to drink. And that is what I call identifying triggers. Because usually what happens is, if you're trying to reduce the amount of substance that you're consuming, what ends up happening is you're blindly reducing it. Like, you don't even know why. Like, your body and your brain starts craving it, and you are just minimizing it. And one day you're going to relapse back again, and you're going to consume way more than you can ever imagine. And you'll be like, I can't really stop my addiction. I cannot get out of this addiction. I am completely addicted. I need this. And you start craving it more and more and more. And your entire life, you will start consuming more and more of these substances. So the thing is, whenever you get the trigger or the urge, identify why you're getting it. Like, what triggers you to go do that? Usually when I was smoking, I used to be triggered when a lot of stress was imposed upon me, when I had a conversation with somebody and it was way too heavy and stressful, or something really happened in the school, in university, in my workplace, and it was really stressful. When there was a lot of stress inside me, I felt the urge to go smoke a cigarette. So stress was a triggering factor. And then when I was with my friends, all my friends used to smoke at that point in my life. And when I used to hang out with them, even I used to smoke way more than I could ever imagine. Even that was a trigger point. Putting myself in situations, environments, and with people who trigger me to smoke. And the same thing with my alcohol addiction. When I used to walk inside a club, when I used to go walk inside a bar or restaurant bar with my friends, it used to trigger me to go drink. When I used to have heavy emotions, when I used to have a lot of sadness, pain, anger, it used to be a trigger point for me to go pick up a bottle. You see how deep this goes. So this is basically called trigger points. Identify what triggers you while you are going and consuming these stuff. It's usually you never came out of your mother's womb, wanting to smoke a cigarette. You never came out of your mother's womb needing to take a shot every time some minor inconvenience happened. That time you just cried and you asked for milk. You did not have a milk addiction. You were just hungry. You just needed nutrition. Right now, all these substances are not contributing to your nutrition, diet, health, or wellness. Everybody knows that. The reason you go consume these substances is because you're trying to escape something deep down inside. It's usually some deep-rooted trauma. It's usually childhood trauma that has built up over the years. It has compounded, and now it is so severe that every minor inconvenience that happens around, it kind of reminds you of that, and you don't even know that. It's like unconsciously you're doing. And sometimes when you develop a habit out of it, let's say you've been smoking for 2 years or more, or just 90 days or more, you have developed a habit. It's like your limbic system is taking over, and you're just putting a cigarette in your mouth, you're lighting it up, and it's so unconscious. Same thing with you getting a drinking problem. It's like unconsciously you're doing it. Any minor inconvenience happens, like you made a routine out of it. It's like brushing your teeth every single morning. So every single day you pour a shot of whiskey, a glass of whiskey, you drink it. It's become a routine. The first thing is break this pattern. Identify the triggers. So whenever you get the urge or feel like smoking, drinking, smoking weed, snorting some cocaine, identify the trigger. Like, what made you do this? Is it your environment? Is it the situations that you put yourself in or others put you in? Is it the stress? Is it the emotions? Or is it the trauma that is creeping back up? So when you identify this, it becomes much more easier, because okay, this is why I'm consuming them. And you can work on that. You can work on these emotions. You can work on not putting yourself in environments that promote this activities that promote, ruining your mental health, your physical health, and your entire well-being. You kind of distance yourself from that environments. You kind of address your inner demons, work on your emotions. You address those stress factors. You learn how to navigate stress and deal with stress in a much more healthy way, like healthy form of self-expression. And then it'll be much more easier to stick on to reducing the number of cigarettes that you consume every single day, the amount of alcohol that you're consuming every single day. That's how you slowly reduce it on the external. Now you identify the trigger points, do the inner work, and slowly reduce it over a period of time. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but it'll eventually happen. That's how I overcame my addiction to cigarettes, alcohol, and weed.